Alright guys, so this is the first ACT video from the first Do Now that we did on Monday, and so just look for the way I'm going to format these later on, just because the one, keep track of all your Do Nows, but also just let's pay attention to the videos, because I'm going to have to format them a little bit differently in terms of what I call them, because they might jump around quite a bit in terms of the numbers. I mean, you see here I'm starting on number 21. I don't know if I'm going to start from number 1 on the next test or what, and so just pay attention to that. So this would be the Do Now from 8/19. So we're starting on this one right here, okay? So first question is, for all positive integers a, b, and c, which of the following expressions equivalent to a over c? So what I need to remember here is when I have excuse me, a multiplication, I can cancel if I see the same in the numerator and the denominator, and here I do see that, so these cancel and I'm just left with a over c. So answer here is a. Okay, next one, I don't see any other a's on the bottom. I can't cancel, but I see a times a, so this is a squared, and then multiplying two c's, that's c squared, so that's not the answer. Here I see that I have c on top, c on the bottom. They will cancel, and a over a, so guys, everything cancels to 1 on this one. Not the answer, not what I'm looking for. I mean, I already found it, but and this is important right here. A minus b, c minus b. This is a minus sign. Plus and minus signs, guys, you cannot cancel when you see them on the top and the bottom. So this one is not the answer, and the same reason for this one here. Okay, so what is the slope-intercept form of 6x minus 2y minus 4? Now, two things we can do here. We can go ahead and just solve for y. Look at all the answers. They say y equals something. So I would subtract 6x, subtract 6x. Okay. I want the y by itself, so I add 4 so that they cancel. Add 4. So negative 2y is equal to negative 6x plus 4. Y is still not by itself, so I'm going to divide by negative 2. And divide each one of these by negative 2. So this becomes negative 6 divided by negative 2 is positive 3. And 4 divided by negative 2 is negative 2. So y is equal to 3x minus 2, which is answer H. Now, there's two ways I could do this one. I could have also, if I plug this just like that, so let me go and plug that in. Oops, you know what? When you see it in this form, like this, where everything's on one side, this is a relation. You can go ahead and plug that in as a relation. 6x minus 2y minus 4 equals 0. You'll see the line comes up. And really what I'm looking for, if it's going to be the same, well, I just want to know the one that's directly over it. So now you see how these are all y equals? Oops. These are all slope-intercept form. Those would be what we call in the calculator function. So just to give you a little idea, I'm going to go to menu and function again. That way it looks like this on the calculator. Hope you can see that. So now let me just type in the first one. We know that's not the answer. 6x minus 2. And you see it's not on top of the original line. So I'm going to go ahead and erase that one. I'm going to go back. And I'm going to plug in 3x minus 2, the answer we already found out. And you're going to see I don't have another line. That's because they're both on top of each other. That's the one I'm looking for. So that's another way you could have gone about this. Maybe that's easier for you since you have the calculator. Personally, I like this way because it's just faster for me. But however you want to do that. So which of the followings is the solution to the equation? Again, you can plug numbers in for x. I'm going to go ahead and go back over here. Oops. So this is the equation they gave me. And I'm looking for the one that's going to be 0. So 50 squared, I'm just plugging in the numbers for x, plus 25 multiplied by 50, and that should equal 0, and I see that. Oops. Sorry, I didn't put that in there for you. 3750, that doesn't equal 0, so that's not the answer. Oops. Okay. I'll do it again with 25. Not going to be the answer, but the easiest way I think is to go ahead and do menu, 3 algebra, and solve. And what I'm going to do here is plug in the equation. And don't forget this, in order for the calculator to solve, you need to put comma and x. And if I do that, oops. Okay, hold on, something went wrong here. Let me do that again. Menu 3 and solve. So x squared plus 25 multiplied by x equals 0, comma x. Okay. Oh, I know what it is. I'm sorry. So you're getting 0. Okay, and if you look over here, none of the answers say 0. Okay, and so the problem with this is it only gives you answers from 0 up. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is, that means my answer is negative. So I'm going to go and I'm going to choose, when this happens, just go ahead and make the boundaries. So we'll make this negative 50 as the smallest number it could be, and negative 1 as the biggest number it could be. And if I do that, I see that my answer comes out to be negative 25. So it was within this range. So yeah, that's a little tricky thing about these calculators, especially when you have like negative numbers. So just be careful with that. Okay, and the big giveaway on that one was that 0 was not an answer choice here, which does work also. So just be careful. Okay. So this is a little geometry that we have to do here, and they're telling us for the right triangle ABC, so they're telling us this is the angle that we're dealing with. The middle one is the angle we're looking at. So this is my angle, which we'll call theta. What is tangent B? Okay, so as I will go ahead and probably make a little bit more of another video on this. For because we have 3, sine, cosine, and tangent. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, adjacent over hypotenuse, and opposite over adjacent. Okay, and so we're going to label this triangle, since this is the angle, across from it is always the opposite. Okay, the biggest one, so always across from the 90 degree, is the hypotenuse, and that makes the last one over here adjacent. Okay, so had this been the angle we were looking at, across from it, that would have made this one the opposite. So it depends on the angle I'm looking at. Okay, so if I'm looking for tangent, opposite over adjacent, opposite here is C, adjacent is A, so C over A is the answer, so C over A is answer J. Okay, and the last one here, a chord is 8 inches long. They tell us this right here. 3 inches from the center of a circle, so this little piece right here is 3. What is the radius? That's what I'm looking for. So we're going to assume a couple things. One, we're going to say that this piece of the line bisects this. That means that on this side I have 4, and on this side I have 4. So 4 and 4 together equals 8, which means this triangle right here is 3, 4, and I'm looking for this little piece right here. Okay, so I'm just going to take this out right here. So I would go ahead, because the ACT likes to do this to y'all. They like to use the 3, 4, 5 triangle. So if one side is, if it's a right triangle, by the way, so this is a right triangle. I'm also assuming that. if this is a 3 and this side is a 4, the last side is a 5. Okay, so the answer is C. Now, if I didn't know that this, like if I just didn't remember 3, 4, 5 triangle, I could still solve for this right here using Pythagorean theorem, using a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Oh, not b squared, this is a. So 3 squared plus 4 squared equals c squared. This is c. So 9 plus 16 equals c squared. 25 is equal to c squared. Square root of 25 is equal to 5. Same answer. Again, if I wanted to just set up this and plug it into the calculator, I could do that too using the menu 3-1. So I could put that 3 squared plus 4 squared equals, instead of c, I'm going to write x squared, because I'm solving for c, comma x, and you'll see that it still equals 5. So you can save a little bit of time using that as well. So that's the first do now, guys. So if you did not do so well on this one, go ahead and look at this video and review what you could have done, or kind of learned a little bit or refresh yourself on what those concepts are.